Hello everybody. I'd like you all to imagine a scenario where you're sitting in front of your desk one very nice Monday morning and with a nice cup of coffee and the morning light glinting through the window. You open up your laptop and you fire up Gmail, and one of the emails catches your eye. One titled College Application Results. And there you are, just a mouse's click away from transporting yourself to a reality where you get accepted or devastatingly rejected and sent back to square one. Well, let's take a trip to 1935 to none other than Erwin Schrodinger, who had just recently won a Nobel Prize, devised a thought experiment in reaction to something called the Copenhagen interpretation. Well, what that is that it was used to explain what could happen to the smallest unit of mass, a subatomic particle, without actually looking at it. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Well, mathematics and probability is used to triangulate the position. You could say that a particle is 50% likely to be in one position at one time, or 50% likely to be in another position at another time. However, the only way to be 100% sure of where a particle is to observe it. But up until that point, the interpretation says that the particle is both there and not there. Well, in our classical physics, a light switch is either on or off. But in the quantum world, they say that the light switch is both on and off until you go and check. Well, that doesn't make sense. Or does it? That is what Schrodinger tried to prove. He realized if this is possible on a micromolecular scale, why not scale it up to a macromolecular one? Perhaps with a cat. That's right. Being a person who didn't particularly like cats, his mind put one into a sealed box, along with a very strange contraption. One consisting of a Geiger counter, just a machine that detects radioactivity, which is linked to a hammer, which breaks the glass vial of poison if radioactivity is detected, which in turn makes the cat go bye-bye. Well, once the cat, and at the center of it all was, and most importantly, a radioactive particle, which the probability of it decaying in the coming hour was unknown to us. So once all of this is set up and the particle is placed and the box is sealed, you can now say that the cat now could be alive or it could be dead. But you can now also say that the cat is both dead and alive. That is exactly what Schrodinger was trying to prove. Turn the micromolecular theory into a macromolecular one, where it effectively explains what quantum physics is based off of. Well, before going forward, I would like you all to understand a concept called quantum superposition. What that is that it states that a quantum system, or just a particle, can exist in multiple states at the same time. Well, a simple example is a spinning coin. If I had a table right here, I could spin a coin on it, and before you actually stop and look at the outcome, you could say that the coin is both heads and tails. Similarly, electrons, they don't actually follow an orbit around the nucleus of an atom, but instead is in a state of superposition everywhere around the atom all at once. It is only when you observe or actually look at the electron when it chooses a definitive state to be in around the particle. Well, exploiting this principle, quantum computers, their bits or qubits actually don't have a value of either 0 or 1. Instead, it has many, which enables them to store vast amounts of data. Well, setting aside the physics of the experiment, it's an obvious idea that our lives are in a constant state of superposition. Every possibility to this very second have an infinite amount where anything can be influenced by any one of you. There could be a reality where you did go for that competition, where you did get up on stage. There's a reality where I may not even be here, actually enjoying my Thursday at home. Well, that is exactly what quantum superposition is. What a remarkable ability that we have to manipulate the future with just as simple as our conscious decisions. It's almost a supernatural ability. Well, as a great man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And with great responsibility comes mind-racking anxiety. There's always the what-ifs that follow our decisions. You know, it's always like, what if I had moved to that new country? What if I had taken that opportunity? Or what if I had met that new person? We often wait for certainty before making a decision. But Schrodinger's cat shows us that certainty comes after you make a decision, never before. Like the cat is both alive and dead until your action to open the box chooses and forces an outcome from nature. Well, but it's important to note that Schrodinger's experiment isn't just a strange phenomenon. Instead, it is a profound reflection of our own lives, where it is shaped by uncertainty. Well, let's see, when it is shaped by uncertainty, how about we think about standing on the edge of a huge decision, unsure of what might happen if you actually take the leap. Before that, every possibility exists all at once. Just like the cat in the box, both alive and dead, until someone dares to look. Well, this experiment, which was actually designed to illustrate the paradoxes of quantum physics, also serve as a powerful metaphor for our own life experiences. That's right, your very own life experiences. How often do we hold ourselves back, unsure of what might happen if we actually make a choice? We put off telling someone how we feel, hesitate to apply for our dream job just because we don't know what might happen if we choose differently. Well, let's take the cat and the radioactive substance, which is also known as an isotope. If the rules remain the same, that if the isotope decays or emits radiation, the cat will die, you could put the cat and the radioactive isotope on two ends of the whole universe and still observe an outcome. That is what quantum entanglement is, a spooky action at a distance, as Einstein famously described it, where the probabilities of both the cat and the isotope are linked, where knowing the state of one will give you the state of the other. If you go to the cat and you see that the cat is happy and alive, you know that the isotope has not decayed. But if it did, you now know that the cat is now dead. Well, our lives are also entangled with countless of these unseen connections. Think about how a simple phone call, you pick up the phone and good news lifts you up or bad news brings you down. Or think about how businesses, their profits and losses indicate the prices of their shares in the stock market. These are just everyday echoes of quantum entanglement, where things can influence each other even across vast distances. In an age of instant communication and global connectivity, your actions has the possibility to spark change in a reality that you may never even witness. You see, we are all part of an intricate, interconnected web where every single thought, every single action can change everything. So I tell you, go for that competition. Take the opportunity and go up on stage. Give the speech that you've been meaning to give. Because it is only when we take the risk or we lose the chance. And only then can we actually collapse the vast superposition into an actual reality and choose from the infinite possibilities into something real. And maybe, who knows, maybe the reality that we chose is better than we've ever imagined. So, thank you for your time. And my name is Shibu, and that was an idea worth spreading. Thank you.